one of the weirder things I've ever done in my life. This is one of them, speaking of my dad's funeral, and the other was beating him a couple of weeks ago. But I'm going to try and lighten it up a little bit from that point. My work requires that I speak in front of people, and usually when I do that in front of a group of people, I like to start off with some sort of humorous anecdote, joke, something along those lines. And I'm one of those that can never remember a joke. If it's written down, I'll forget it as soon as I've heard it. And being in the building industry, that's really paid off, because lately, since 2008, when we get together and have our meetings, the joke is that we're in the building industry and we're all sitting around laughing. But my dad did, when I was, the one joke I've remembered my whole life, I can't tell you, but my dad told it to me when I was 7 or 8 years old. And I guess suffice it to say, the joke was about gasoline when the premium grade was called ethyl. Maybe some of you know what it is, maybe some of you don't, but that's what it had to do with it. Anyways, being politically correct was not one of Dad's strengths or priorities, as many of you probably know. He would voice his opinion, and strongly, no matter where he was. As an example, restaurants, if he saw someone sitting across the room that looked a little overweight and he didn't like what he was eating, everyone in the restaurant, along with that person, would know how Dad felt about that and how he should change what he's eating. I have a personal experience with that with Dad, and this goes back 25 years when my first daughter was born, Kelly. It was a difficult labor for Kim, and hang on. Okay, so it was a difficult labor for Kim, and I was there, and as all of us fathers know, we're the ones that really suffer during childbirth, not the women. We're the ones standing there telling ourselves to breathe. We need to breathe, we need to not pass out. And when the doctor says cut the cord, we've got to cut the cord. And all this time, we've got to keep our water from breaking, like I almost just did there. So anyways, that went on. Kelly was born, and Kim, after laying around having a baby, she went off to rest. And I'm holding this little bundle of joy, life, what have you, in my arms. Most beautiful thing in the world. And I go out to get all the adulations and attaboys. And I think even in those days they could smoke in the hospitals, so there's probably a couple of cigars being passed around. And I go out there, and there's Dad, among other people, and he comes up and says, "Oh boy, what do you got there?" And I go, "God, Dad, isn't she beautiful? This is Kelly, my daughter." She goes, "A girl? God, that's too bad. If you had a boy, you'd only have to worry about one pecker." And you can say that. Years later, when Kelly was dating, and the guy with the bright blue neon hair showed up at the doorstep with his electronic computerized music playing, I went, "God, Dad, you're right." So. Okay. Well, that was page 1. Right. So now we're here and we're commemorating his life, and Dad actually has an opinion about himself and death and life and that sort of thing. And fittingly, it's the last paragraph of his autobiography, A Military Pilot, Sighting Life, and Visit from the Hereafter. And like I said, it's the last paragraph. Now, if you're worried about my spoiling the ending for you, I would suggest reading the book in this manner. Start with the last chapter, read it first, then read the preceding chapter. It'll really keep you guessing as to what happens next. So I would go ahead and that. So here I'll read it now. The visits Earth had in the 1950s by spacecraft, far superior to our own, operated by individuals with human configuration, but much smaller, prove that we are not alone in this universe. They are from another planet within our Milky Way, another galaxy of the infinite universe. Since they were alive, the prime mover spirit is within them. When we die physically, the spirit within us transfers to a higher level within the universe. And then he has in parentheses the hereafter. I believe in the prime mover, and if you do, there are many paths to heaven. I look forward to my visit with my mother's spirit, my guardian angel spirit, and hopefully the greatest spirit in this universe, God. That's what he says. I think right or wrong, he's probably driving around right now because he loved to drive.
Yeah.
That's it.